Hi everyone, today I'm sharing the next process video for my Me, Myself, and I #selflove 2021 album, and this specifically is for one of Heba's prompts, and it says the internet/social media made me buy this, so I put my title as the internet made me do it, and this flips out like so, and there's a pocket here for some screenshots. So if you'd like to see how I created this spread, then just keep watching. Here's some free stickers that came in the Everyday Explorers and Paper Person orders that I had placed. I have a journaling card that I had done some typing up. This was actually one of the free printables from Everyday Explorers from last year, as well as my 2 screenshots of the internet inspiring me to make these purchases. And I also have my Daisy Dory from Coco Daisy that I've been using for this project, and I'm actually going to be using this spread that has all the orange writing on one of the sides, but this spread I had actually made during Treasured Memories virtual crop, and they had a challenge that said that we had to make majority brown or cream, so I decided I wanted to cover up that colorful orange page with something brown. So I wanted to make this a pocket page, and I'm using one of the bags that came in the Coco Daisy kits just to trim it down to size so that I could use that as a pocket for my spread here. And just to jazz things up a bit, I'm just putting the front side of that pocket into my paper trimmer and trimming that at an angle. I didn't really measure exactly what angle. I just wanted it to be able to stand out from the back of that pocket that I have there so that you can easily see that that's a pocket. Just using my Tombow model permanent adhesive tape runner to adhere this down to my page. And there we have our pocket. The paper bag is kind of like a bit more delicate and easily crinkled, so just make sure when you're putting these down that you're just lying it nice and flat. Next, I'm going to be doing some distress ink smooshing. It's a very technical term for this technique here. I have the distress inks in antique linen and brushed corduroy. And I'm just taking the ink pads and smooshing them onto a slick surface. So here I have a silicone mat from Tim Holtz. You can use this on glass, or if you don't have any of those things, a page protector works as well. And then I'm just spraying the inks with some water, just plain water from a mister here that I have. And that activates the inks. So distress inks are made to be water reactive, so they kind of become a bit more vibrant, and you can kind of see it beat up on the slick surface that I have there. And next, I'm just going to carefully take my page, keeping in mind that I do have a photo on the back of that page as well, and just carefully dip it into those ink splotches that I have, lifting up occasionally just to check where my ink is on my page. And it does take some practice to kind of know what type of look you're going for and how to achieve that look. But you can see here that I have some random looking splotches on my page. I have kind of like a square-ish mark towards the center, which I don't like as much, but I can always cover that up with a photo or a journaling card. And just doing some cleanup here before we move on. So because the distress inks are water soluble and this is on a slick surface, I'm able to just take a cloth that's wet a bit with water and just wipe it off my craft mat. Moving on, we're just going to be decorating the front of our pocket while the other page dries a bit. And the 2 stickers that I have here, the bottom one is from Everyday Explorers and the top one is from Paper Person. And these were just free goodies that were included in some of my orders that I've placed in the past. And I love how small businesses are able to include free goodies for us like these. That shows that they really care about their customers. And I love supporting small businesses like these, so I'll definitely leave links to their shops down below so you can check out Everyday Explorers or Paper Person if you like. Here I have my journaling card that I was planning on matting on some craft cardstock, as well as a photo that I took of my recent order that I've received from these 2 shops. And I'm just wondering what to do with these 2 elements here, because the photo is a bit too big to go on the left side because it would cover up too many of those splatters, and I wanted to keep those splatters. But then I didn't really have anywhere else for that photo to go. So I decided to give up on that in the meantime and then just work on these 2 screenshots that I had taken. So the first screenshot that I have here is from Heba's Instagram feed, and I knew after I looked at this photo of her spread that I wanted to have that stamp set from Everyday Explorers that's called Markup. It has like little scribbly arrows and like circling marks that you can use to help with your documenting, and I just love the way that she used those stamps in her spread here. And the second screenshot is from Crystal Eduniate's Thursday Live on YouTube. This was a couple of weeks ago, and a few of the other participants were talking about Paper Person's new beer set that was just going to come out the weekend afterwards. So I knew as soon as they said that, and as soon as I saw that I had to get it for myself. So I just matted these two screenshots on each on one side of some craft cardstock that I had, and that creates a nice sturdy insert that I can pull out of my pocket there. So while I was doing that, I decided that the best way to include this very large photo would be to create a little flip open so that I wouldn't have to cover up all those nice stickers that I had stuck down. So I'm just carefully peeling off the paper bag away from the traveler's notebook page that I had there. And I did manage to peel it up mostly well without having to rip anything. And you can see I just stuck my scissor blades in there so that the paper bag wouldn't stick back down to the traveler's notebook while I was working on the flap or the hinge part to my flap. So to create this hinge, I'm cutting down a piece of craft cardstock that is 1 inch wide by the height of the photo. And I'm just going to take my scoreboard and score on the 1 inch side at 1/2 inch so that it is 1/2 inch wide when I fold it in half. Next, I'm going to be using my 3/8 inch score tape. I do like to use score tape for any interactive pieces just because it's a bit more sturdy than tape runner. And I'm just going to apply that on both sides of the hinge here. And after that's done, I'm just going to carefully maneuver this hinge into that space that I've ripped up there. And as usual, I'm removing one side of the tape backing first, sticking it down inside the flap, and then pulling up the other half of that adhesive tape backing there. Just making sure that this hinge will fold properly, and then I'm just removing the other part of that tape backing and applying my photo. Next, I'm just applying my journaling card onto some craft cardstock that I have, and this just gives it a bit more definition so that it stands out from the background, just because the background is quite white, and so is the journaling card. And after that, I'm going to be working on my title. So here I have some of the alphabet puffy stickers that came in the Cocoa Daisy Treetop Canopy collection from March, and I thought it went well with my brown and cream spread. And I'm going to try to spell out "The Internet Made Me Do It." And so I'm just trying to count out the letters and see where this title is going to fit, because the alphabet stickers are quite tall. And so in order to fit the whole title onto this page, I am going to be moving that journaling card down a bit afterwards. And you can see here that I'm just using my tweezers to position the letters where I want them to be. And I do like that the Cocoa Daisy Traveler's Notebooks have some grid lines on most of the pages that are blank. So it just makes it a bit easier for me to make sure that my title is straight on my page. Now that my title is done, I can trim off that extra tiny bit off the end of my journaling card and glue that down to my page. Next, I'm going to be creating a card that goes on the back of that photo there to hide that hinge. And here I have a piece of scrap paper that I had been testing out my distress inking technique. And this is just one of the extra pages that I had lying around from when I had taken one of my other simple dories apart from Cocoa Daisy. And pretty much I just wanted to test to make sure that the distress inks wouldn't crinkle the paper a bit too much if I were to apply it wet onto the page. And so here I'm taking one of the Everyday Explorer stamp sets that I got in that order. This one is called Worth the Hype. And I'm just stamping some of those stamps randomly onto this piece of paper here. And I love that I was able to use that other scrap of paper that would have otherwise gone to waste. And because I used the same distress inks on both of these pieces of paper, it just pulls the spread together so much better. So there's my finished spread. I really love how this turned out, and I hope you enjoyed watching me get kind of inky and that this inspires you to maybe try some ink smooshing for yourself. If you liked this video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to leave a comment down below and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.